Hey, welcome back to Human History, where we don't just study the past, we step into it. If you've ever wondered what it truly felt like to live through history as most pivotal moments, you're in the right place. If this kind of storytelling moves you, I'd be honored if you'd like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Tell me where you re-listening from and what time it is in your part of the world. Now, find a quiet corner, take a slow breath, and let the noise of the present fade away, because tonight we're walking through the mud and mist of a Civil War winter. You wake not to bugle calls, but to the sound of rain drumming on canvas like 1,000 impatient fingers. It's not the gentle patter of summer showers. It's the cold, relentless hiss of December rain in Middle Tennessee, the kind that soaks through wool, chills bone, and turns every road into a river of mud. Your breath plumes in the pre-dawn dark, visible even inside the tent. You shift on your bedroll, and your hip screams in protest. Frostbite took 2 toes last month. You still haven't told the surgeon. What's the point? He'd just shrug and say, "Plenty walk with less." Outside, the camp is a symphony of misery. Boots squelch in muck. Men curse as they try to light damp tinder. Somewhere, a mule brays in protest, probably because it has been asked to haul another load of frozen hardtack through knee-deep sludge. You sit up slowly, joints cracking like dry kindling. Your name is Elias Carter. You're 21. You enlisted from a river town in Indiana because your father said it was your duty. He didn't say anything about sleeping in puddles or watching boys from your hometown die of gangrene after stepping on a rusty nail. Your tent mate, Private Jonah Pike, a wiry blacksmith's son from Cincinnati, stirs beside you. "Still alive then?" he rasps, voice thick with phlegm. "Barely," you mutter, reaching for your canteen. The water inside is icy, but you drink anyway. Thirst doesn't care about temperature. Jonah sits up, wincing as he wraps a ragged strip of flannel around his left hand. His fingers are swollen, red at the tips. Early signs of chilblains. "Sergeant says we move at first light," he says. "Rebs are pulling back toward Murfreesboro." Again, you grunt. You've been chasing ghosts for weeks. Every time you get close, they vanish like smoke, leaving behind burnt bridges, poisoned wells, and hollow-eyed civilians who won't meet your gaze. War used to feel like a straight line. Enlist, fight, win, go home. Now it feels like walking in circles through a swamp, dragging a corpse on your back. You pull on your boots, leather cracked, soles half gone, stuffed with straw to keep the wet out. Your socks are damp. They've been damp for a month. You've forgotten what dry feels like. Outside, the rain has eased to a mist. The air smells of wet earth, wood smoke, and the faint, ever-present tang of latrine trenches. You join the line at the cook fire, where a grim-faced corporal ladles out coffee so weak it's barely brown. Still, you take it gratefully. Coffee is ritual. Coffee is sanity. You dunk your hardtack, rock hard, weevil speckled, and let it soften in the cup. A beetle crawls out. You flick it away. Protein is protein. Mail came yesterday. Jonah got a letter from his sister. You didn't. It's been 6 weeks since your last word from home. You tell yourself the lines are cut, the roads flooded, the post riders dead or deserters. You don't let yourself wonder if something worse has happened, if the farm was seized, if your mother took ill, if Emma stopped waiting. You're eating when young Private Riley stumbles into camp, soaked to the skin, eyes wide. They found Henderson, he blurts, down by the creek, froze solid in his sleep. A silence falls over the men. Henderson was only 18, joined up with his twin brother, who died at Chickamauga. Henderson hadn't spoken a word since, just marched, just ate, just stared at the horizon like it owed him an answer. No one says anything. What is there to say? You've seen men die from cannon fire, from dysentery, from friendly fire in the fog. But freezing to death in your own bedroll, that feels like a betrayal, like the earth itself turned against you. Form up, the sergeant barks. We move in 10. The march begins before the sun clears the trees. Rain returns, steady and cold. Your knapsack, 40 pounds of rifle, blanket, cartridge box, spare socks that aren't spare, and a single photograph of your family wrapped in oilcloth, digs into your shoulders like a punishment. The road is a quagmire. Every step sucks at your boots. Men slip, fall, rise, coated in mud, and keep walking. No one helps, not out of cruelty, but because if you stop, you might not start again. Jonah walks beside you, humming an old hymn under his breath. He does that when the silence gets too loud. You used to find it annoying. Now it's a lifeline. By midday, the rain turns to sleet. Ice needles sting your face. Your fingers go numb around your rifle. You don't dare let go to warm them. Frostbite spreads fast. You think of your toes. You think of Henderson. You think of home, where the stove is lit by now, and your mother is kneading bread, and Emma is reading by the window, her hair catching the afternoon light. You don't know if any of that is true, but you hold it anyway, like a prayer. At dusk, the regiment halts in a field outside a burned-out hamlet. No tents tonight. Too wet, too cold, too much effort. You dig shallow scrapes in the mud, line them with pine boughs scavenged from the woods, and huddle together for warmth. Jonah shares his last plug of tobacco. You pass it back and forth, the bitter smoke warming your throat. Do you ever wonder, Jonah says quietly, if they're out there wondering the same thing? The Rebs, I mean. If they're sitting in the cold, thinking about their girls, their farms, wondering why they're killing men they never met. You look into the dark. Somewhere beyond the picket line, Confederate campfires flicker like distant stars. Yeah, you say. I reckon they are. Sleep doesn't come easy. The ground is stone. The wind howls through bare branches, and the silence between artillery barrages is somehow worse than the noise, because in the quiet, your mind races. You think of Henderson. You think of your toes. You think of the letter you'll never write to his mother, because you don't know her name. Dawn brings no relief, just more gray sky, more mud, more orders. But then, a miracle. A supply wagon rolls in, its wheels caked in ice, and in it, real coffee, salt pork that hasn't turned green, and wonder of wonders, a sack of dried apples. The men cheer, like they've won the war. That night, around a fire built in a salvaged iron cauldron, Jonah produces a harmonica he's kept hidden in his boot. He plays Shenandoah, slow and aching. Men gather, not talking, just listening. For a few minutes, the war recedes. You're not soldiers. You're just men, far from home, holding on to beauty like a raft in a storm. You survive another week, then another. The Rebs don't make a stand. The cold deepens. Men fall out of the ranks, not from bullets, but from exhaustion, from despair, from the slow erosion of hope. But you keep walking, because what else is there? You are Elias Carter, 21, of Company B, 74th Indiana Volunteers. You carry a Springfield rifle, a Bible with no pages, left uncreased, and the weight of every man who didn't make it this far. You don't know if you'll see spring, but you know this: as long as your legs hold, you'll march, not for glory, not for Lincoln, but for Jonah, for Henderson, for the boy you were, and the man you're trying not to become. Left foot, right foot, the road stretches on, and you follow.